what has happened and what the damage might be.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I pride myself on, being available. So I think the my immediate reaction was sadness that I don't know what the extent of what just happened was, and I know that I'm leaving a game, and I know we've already been shorthanded with injuries, and it was frustrating. Um, my initial reaction was to, get up and go to first base. And as I was on the ground, I was bleeding a lot, and I knew that this wasn't normal, that this was more than just, getting hit in the face, that there's a lot of blood and that there's no way to get to first base. And, came back in the clubhouse and, kind of had a moment to, kind of assess what happened. Saw the doctor and, without any x-rays or anything, he told me that, your nose is deformed and it's, more than likely broken. And, I had to take a moment to myself to just collect myself. I was sad. It wasn't so much about the pain. It was just about the fact that this team's gone through a lot. And like I said, I pride myself on being available, and I don't always enjoy the results of going out there every single day, but I do enjoy the challenge of being available every day, and I enjoy playing, and that's the thing that hurts the most. My face will heal, but my heart's broken right now because this team's hurting right now, and I came here and didn't really know what my role was going to be, and I was gifted an opportunity to go out there and play every day, and I don't take that lightly, and it hurts.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Tyler Kepner.
Hi, Kevin. Glad to see you're doing better. And good luck in your continued recovery. I wanted to ask you, with your perspective in the game, it's getting more and more dangerous, it seems, to get in the box. Why do you think hit by pitches are up now higher than ever?
I mean, it's a pretty simple answer. Just I think velocity has become the primary factor in determining whether a guy could pitch at the highest level of baseball, as opposed to pitchability. You're seeing more and more guys that throw hard, and teams are hoping that they could develop pitchability and control and a secondary pitch. You're not seeing as many guys that throw in the lower 90s or 90 that have very high pitchability with multiple pitches that get guys out. Those guys are kind of a dime a dozen now. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just velocity is key right now, and trying to develop the secondary part of pitching is something that all teams feel like they could, once they get a guy with a big arm, they could teach. But we are talking about something that happens very infrequently in this game. Someone actually being hit, in the head or in the face. I know it's maybe happened a couple of times this year, but it is part of the game. I don't think. I know in this scenario, I can't speak about all his scenarios, but I know this guy didn't want to hit me. I know he didn't want to hit me in the face. The bases were loaded, and it was a 1-0 game, and accidents do happen. So, in that regard, there's, I know he feels bad. I know me and him have talked last night, today, and I'm almost more worried about him than I am myself, because I know I saw his reaction, and I know how tough that could be on someone who feels, responsible for someone getting injured, how he feels. And I just tried to relay that message to him that, I know that it was unintentional, and he needs to continue to be confident and believe in himself and his stuff, and that I'll be fine.
Thanks, man. Good luck.
Next question is from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Kevin, good to see you. Your son looks a little too young to know what went on, but what were the reactions of your wife, your daughter, and other family members who saw that?
Yeah, it was a scary time, I think, for my wife. They're back in California at her parents' house on this long road trip, and she saw it live. Luckily, it was kind of during their dinner time. My daughter didn't see it live. She didn't get an opportunity to see it. My son, like you mentioned, is obviously a little bit too young to fully understand what's going on. But my wife was scared. Obviously new team. She didn't necessarily have a point of contact right away. Fortunately for her, the trainers on the other side were the trainers I had in Toronto for a long time, and she was smart enough to know to reach out to them. And once I kind of saw the doctor in here, got some of the bleeding to stop, and I was able to kind of get a moment to myself. I called her and just let her know that I was all right, and she just felt helpless. She feels bad. I'm here by myself, but I'm fine. And obviously, my parents too were scared. My parents are also on the West Coast too, and they tend to record the games and finish their work day and go to the gym and like to come home and watch it. And that was kind of interrupted by my wife reaching out and letting them know what happened. But I think everyone, my family, my close friends, my inner circle, they know that this is just a minor bump in the road. That I pride myself on being tough and available, and that I'll be all right. And just tons of love and support from my friends and family over the last 24 hours. It's been just overwhelming.
And Rojas said that when he saw the incident, like he figured there was no way you'd be able to walk off on your own. And other of your teammates have said they're surprised. When you look back at that, does that surprise you? Was that just adrenaline, or?
No, that's how I was. That's how I was raised. Like I said, biggest thing for me is I played through injuries in my career. Being available was the most important thing to me. The statistical stuff became very secondary in my career, and I think even the support that I've got from my teammates here and people reaching out, just saying that you're tough. I've never seen anything like that. Is what I've always wanted to be known for and what I've always wanted to be remembered for. Not necessarily the numbers on the scoreboard. I think at the end of my career, I hit 230, 240, 250, whatever it is. I think if people talk about me as a guy that was reliable, was available, and was tough as hell, that's more than enough for me to ride off into the sunset with.
Your next question comes from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Kevin, glad to see you're doing okay and are able to do this today. This may seem like a strange question based on what happened, but do you feel lucky in some ways that these were the extent of the injuries? What did the doctors maybe say to you that you were lucky?
Yeah, definitely lucky. I mean, looking back at the play, I feel like it just happened so quick. And I've had close calls. I've been hit in the helmet. I've been hit in the face before. And I just felt like there was always, this moment where I was like, I can't get out of the way. And I do my best to get out of the way. This one, it was weird. I don't know if I just didn't pick the ball up, if I was, thinking about the count, the situation, like what I was trying to do. But the ball just got on me so quick and it hit me. And before I knew it, I was on the ground. It was kind of like it was like a weird out of body experience. It was like contact pain. I was on the ground, and then I realized where I was kind of at in time. Thinking back on it, yeah, I think I'm very lucky. I mean, I was staring the baseball down, and I didn't really even move. To have hit me where it hit me. I'm very fortunate with, the diagnosis that I got. And like you said, I mean, couple inches to the right or left, it's my eye, and who knows what happens there. If it's a couple inches higher, it hits me in the forehead. Who knows what happens there? So, given the circumstances, I'm very lucky. I feel, pretty damn normal right now, aside from my face kind of looking the way it does and not being able to breathe too well out of my nose, but I feel great. I got no headaches. I got no symptoms. I feel, pretty fortunate to kind of be sitting here and excited to go out there and watch these young guys go play a game today.
And I think the other time that you got hit more recently, Kevin, I think was in the jaw. Maybe it was a couple of years ago. I think you played the next day, right?
I played the same day. I didn't even come out of that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
So it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard getting back in the box again after that.
No, it wasn't. I joked. I was joking about wanting to get into the cage today, not necessarily hitting, but just, having right on right curveballs be thrown at me, whether it's one or two, and just kind of like let myself know it's okay. I mean, I don't, obviously right now it's easy sitting here in shorts and knowing I'm not playing to say I'm going to be super comfortable in the box. It's another thing going to do it. But I also remind myself I've had over 3,000 at-bats in my career. I've been hit twice in the face. That's a pretty low percentage of happening. I think if I sit there and try to worry about that happening again, it's such a small percentage of the at-bats I've had. And, I think I'll be fine. I just think, time's going to heal this, and I'll step back in the box. And people have asked me, you going to wear face protection or a face mask or anything? And my answer is probably no. I wore the C-flap a little bit after I got hit in the jaw, and that was more because I was a little bit sore. But when the season was over, I never put it back on. I've felt pretty comfortable in the box. So, I think it's just a matter of just get back in there and doing it. Thank you.
Next question comes from Bruce Beck.
Kevin, wishing you well. This story bridges news and sports. I mean, my wife woke up this morning and asked me about you. So what kind of support have you received from the baseball community, from the general public, and how touched have you been?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to have something like that kind of make you, I don't want to say relevant again, but I guess popular. I mean, I've heard from, right now on my phone, I probably have 160, 70 unread text messages. I mean, I see them all. It's nearly impossible to get back to every single person. But from, my friends that I went to high school with that are still, close to me, my college friends, friends that I've met outside of baseball, former teammates, players on other teams, players just in the league, even a couple players, that are part of this small being hit in the face fraternity have reached out to me to make sure I was doing well. People that I've never met, fans, people on social media, the outreach has been, more than I could ever imagine. But I think the classiest though is, the amount of support that I've received from the Atlanta Braves. Obviously I have a close relationship with George and Frosty, the athletic trainers over there, who I dealt with for many years in Toronto. Sal Fasano, their catching coach, was a coordinator and a coach with the Blue Jays in the minor league system. But guys like Dansby Swanson that I don't know personally, Brian Snedeker, Walt Weiss, all people that I've never met before, reached out to me. Kevin Seitzer, who was a hitting coach of mine, reached out. So the amount of people on that side that have reached out just shows that they're, a classy organization, a bunch of classy guys. And I can't leave out, Webb. Webb reached out to me last night. Felt terrible about what happened. We talked a little bit when I was at the hospital, exchange text, and he reached out to me again today, maybe about 35 minutes ago, wanted to meet in the tunnel. We went over there, shook hands, hugged it out. He reiterated that he felt terrible about what happened. I tried to reiterate that it's part of the game. I know you didn't mean to do it. And I just told him to continue to be confident and believe in his stuff because his stuff is good.
Hey, we've been saying stay safe for 15 months. I think it's apropos here. Be safe.
Thank you.
Next question is from Wayne Randazzo.
Hey, Kevin, what are the next steps to get you back on the field?
So I met with a specialist today, a plastic surgeon here in Atlanta. He read my CT scan and X-rays and stuff, and I have several breaks to my nose. They need to be put back in place. That will take place once the swelling reduces in my face, and that will probably be done by a doctor in New York. I think the initial plan is for me to, when we get home, see the doctor on Monday in New York, talk about when that surgery could be done. And, I think they said 10 to 14 days after that, I'll be able to resume baseball activity. And my plan is to be, back as soon as possible. I'm going to do my best, to get with our high performance staff and our training staff and figure out over the next, handful of days, what I can do and what I can't do to kind of just keep my body fresh and keep my mind fresh and try to stay in the best baseball shape I can stay in and really try to get back as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from Tim Healy.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for coming on Zoom today. I know it's been a weird day. Are the breaks limited to your nose?
That's it. I mean, that was the very, going back to the previous question, do I feel lucky? And the answer is yes. From, the medical professionals that I dealt with, last night at the hospital, plastic surgeon that I dealt with today, our team doctors, the fact that it was exclusively just to my nose is, a blessing. That could have been a lot worse. Orbital bone, cheekbones, you start to deal with some vision stuff and some eye stuff that takes a little bit longer. The fact that it is just my nose will allow me to get back on the field a little bit quicker. Once it's, set and put back into place, it doesn't need to fully heal before I can resume activity. It will be, put in a position where, breathing becomes normal again. And, it appears to be, better off than it is now. But it will allow me to get back on the field, sooner than later.
Sure. And which players who have experience with this sort of thing have hit you up so far?
Charlie Culberson. Who else did I talk to? I've had a couple of people reach out to me that have done it, and I think it's just nothing more than just praying for you, hoping for a speedy recovery. But obviously, a scary thing, something you don't ever want to experience yourself. You never want to experience witnessing it, whether it's being on the same field on TV. I think it's important. As much as sports is about competition, it's also about brotherhood and camaraderie. And I think we all realize how fortunate and lucky we are to have gotten to this point, and how very few people get an opportunity to do this. And within that, there's a little bit of fraternity. So that was definitely seen over the last 24 hours with the amount of just people in the baseball community that I've reached out.
Thank you.
Kevin, thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
I got nothing but time, so thank you.
Be well. Stay safe.
Thanks.
This concludes today's Zoom room with Kevin Pillar. Thank you for your time.